Hello?
And we're live. All right, Greg, how you doing, man?
I don't know, I can't breathe.
I see that you're using your N95 mask, as you should.
Oh, it is an N95. How the heck do you know that?
I used to work at Home Depot.
That's true. And it's not my mask.
Yeah, sorry. I moved your for some reason your screen got moved, so I'm just putting it back. But we're live. This is our 39th episode. Today, a year ago, we started the podcast, so we wanted to do a little celebration, even though we're in quarantine.
Yeah, man, back in your office.
Remember those?
Yeah.
Remember the days?
Yeah, where you had those goblets and we kept having a drink at the beginning.
Yeah. All right, man. I think you can take off your mask so everybody can hear you. So it's been a year, man. It's been a year that we've been doing this. Yeah, man. How do you feel?
I don't know. Because when we first started, I was talking about going back to work, and I did go back to work, and now I'm back out of work.
But it's
And it was very interesting because I got back to work just at the right time to make money to save for this event.
Yeah. Well, you did it right. I can tell you that, that you were at least prepared. You've been able to survive on your own now. You're living at your own place now. Yeah, you're doing it right, man. All you right now, the only thing you have to worry about is finding a new income stream so that you get back to where you were going.
Yep. I had all my money planned out.
I figured that most of all of our plans went out the window. Everybody's plan. Nobody knew this was going to happen. This was sort of unprecedented. It was unforeseen.
Yeah.
So Greg, to get us started today, let's do another haiku. This one is also by Basho, like last week's. Okay, here we go. Now that eyes of hawks in dusky night are darkened, chirping of the quails. So I'll tell it again. Now that eyes of hawks in dusky nights are darkened, chirping of the quails. So from what I get from this haiku is that once the predators go to sleep, the party starts for the prey.
That's what I was looking at. I was looking at the sea of hawks eat quails.
Oh yeah, hawks eat many things: small birds, small rodents, snakes.
Oh, I guess they do.
Yeah, so
once your predator goes to sleep, it's time for you to shine.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like it's what's gonna happen when all this is over. When the virus is over, we're all gonna come back out, and it's like party like never before.
Time where you start quacking. Bring back the mighty ducks.
Yeah. So before the podcast, we were talking a little bit about how you were gonna do a 24-hour stream on Twitch with your gaming channel. So whatever happened, and first of all, why did you decide to stream in the first place?
Why I started to stream? I mean, it's the same appeal for most people who stream, even if they don't say it. Like, being able to play video games and make money is great. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. So that was definitely one of the appeals. The other one was because the group of people I was with, we were starting to get really good at the game we were playing. So we started, or I started doing it essentially to like troll the other people that we were going against.
Uh-huh.
So it's like you can watch us and we're still better than you, kind of thing. And then it just kept going from there. Like I'm not big in any way. Some of the people in the community don't know who I am, but I'm like, if you just walk, if I walk around, no one knows who I am.
But hopefully it changes, huh?
We'll see. It's hard to do. Like you don't really think about it because like I could sit down today and play for 6 hours straight and think that's all I did. But then when you come down to it and you look, like you get up to go to the bathroom, you get up to eat. Sometimes like your roommate or whoever else is in the house comes to talk to you. Sometimes you get a phone call, and like a lot of your time is not in front of the computer actually. So like when you have to actually be in front of the computer for the whole time and communicate with people and make sure that everything else is blocked out, it's much harder.
Yeah. But would you say that like the new generation spending the most of their time on computers or devices? See, I was having this conversation with Gilbert and Robert yesterday, and how we were talking about how the future might look like in terms of technology. But one of the things that I was telling them was that I personally don't see technology advance all that much, um, you know, outside of like the internet space and programming and coding and all that stuff. Like look how long it took us to get a fully electric car on the market. People have been talking about this kind of stuff for years. You look
Yeah,
at
but it's
like,
not even about if like how far we go. Half the time we don't know how far. Like the internet was around way before it was mainstream. Like way before. So, like there's so much out there that's already created that's not mainstream and people know about that
mhm.
within the next 50 years will be normal. But to us now, it's so high tech.
Yeah, but see, outside of the space of the internet and the realm of computing science, I don't really see that we've developed any new technology. Like, yes, we have better cars, faster cars, more efficient cars, but we don't have flying cars, or we don't have, you know,
We do have flying cars. They're called airplanes.
but you know what I mean, like for like publicly, like
Yeah.
not commercial.
Yeah.
Like how Back to the Future, they predicted that 2019 would be like this big, or was it 2019? Was it Back to the Future? I think it might have been Demolition Man, and how we would be having like flying cars, holograms. The city would be like 5 times bigger, taller, the skyscrapers and everything. Yeah, I don't really see that happening within maybe even our lifetime.
Uh, maybe not, but I don't know. I think there's a lot more out there that we just don't have access to. Because it's like when you do anything in life, people aren't going to explain to everyone their edge on something. So like a big business isn't going to tell you exactly what to do to become what they are. Like
Yeah.
they'll give you like when you
the
go on Instagram and you see all these like millionaires trying to give out basic information, like half the stuff is BS. Half the stuff doesn't apply to you unless you already have the money.
Yeah, but see, if we go back to okay, let's go to the atomic bomb. We had
Uh-huh.
we made the atomic bomb, then they made the hydrogen bomb. Right now, we don't really know, what's in the works, but as far as I can see, I don't really see like like a different, like a new bomb, or
You don't think we
maybe
have something
maybe
stronger than that?
right now I'm thinking maybe bioweapons is one.
I
Um,
guarantee you we have something stronger than that. I don't know what it is, but I can guarantee it.
yeah, I don't know, man. I think maybe we're placing them on a big pedestal. I mean,
Mm,
don't get me wrong. Like just the atomic bomb by itself is a huge human feat, or going to the moon, you know. But when was it that we went back? We haven't gone back. You know what I'm
are you
saying?
sure?
As far as I know. I mean, I don't really know, right? But as
So
far as
yeah,
I
didn't
know,
someone small just go to the moon? Like a smaller country?
I think they had a drone, space drone, or like I think it was China actually. I'm not quite sure though. I think China went to the dark side of the moon recently.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time though, like it could have been either something that's trying to be hidden, or it could be like it could have been a pointless trip. It's like if we wasted like a ton of money to just discover the desert. You know what I mean? Like, cool, we found the desert, but we didn't find anything there, and we don't have enough time. We gotta go, and now the uncertainty of is it even worth it?
Yeah, that's a good point. But what if you dig and you find oil in the desert?
Yeah,
Then
that's
is
why
it
it's
worth it?
still an
Like a
interesting
resource?
concept.
I'm sure there's a ton of resources out there that we could use that we don't really know.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, technology, man. But I like it because this whole computer advancements that we've made, we're now able to talk, have a conversation. You're like 30 miles away from me, and we're having this conversation on the air where we can share with other people. Um, yeah, I really like that, and this is a man. This is I can't believe it. This is our first year. We've done a whole year now. And earlier I asked you how you felt. It's a little weird, right? Like one day we were just talking about it, and then here we are a year later.
yep.
Yeah, man. Um, anyway, we were also talking about the mandatory usage of masks. There's been a lot of rumors here in Orange County that they're going to be the government officials are going to get really strict in terms of people using the masks. Um, yeah, and then we were looking at it. Was it LA County that's doing mandatory, Greg?
It's not the county; it's one of the cities within the county
So
where you have to wear a mask. If you get caught outside without one, you can get fined or jailed. But they're not going to jail you; they'll just fine you.
I read somewhere that it was upwards of $1,000 fine. Was that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
It's always
man.
vague about how much.
Yeah, $1,000 for not wearing a mask. And what if we've exhausted the supply of masks? What if you can't get any? Like,
I think
sure,
the
you
point
can
is
make
if you
some
can't get any, then don't go outside.
or get some, huh?
Yeah.
Make some at home.
Well, I mean, making some at home though, it's no different than just putting a rag over your face. You might as well just walk outside with a bandana on.
Yeah, right?
'Cause it's like, have you ever put like a shirt over your face for a long period of time and then like taking it off and felt it? It's moist. It's like wet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if the moisture can get through, you think the bacteria can get through? You
Yeah.
betcha.
Right. Oh
So
man.
like the homemade stuff, I don't know. Unless you like remove it quickly, like and often, and put a new one up, I don't think it does much. I mean, sure, it could protect you if someone coughs and it hit it and you took it off. Sure, maybe. But like if you just reuse the same one over and over and over, like You're just gonna get sick off your own germ. It may not be COVID, but it'll be some other kind of sickness.
Yeah. So other than that, man, what's going on with you? What's new?
What's new? I mean, there's nothing new. I was supposed to start working at a Ralph's overnight this week, and I went to bed like in the middle of the day so that I could be up at night. And I missed a phone call from him, so I called him back. Couldn't get a hold of anyone, and the store was closed. So I still went to see if I can get in, but all the doors are locked. Stood outside the front door. There was a camera there, so I thought maybe they used the camera at night to see, like, to open the door for employees and stuff. And granted, I was there like 5 minutes early, so unless like all the employees get there early, like it was weird. So I didn't go, and then found out the next day one of my actually it was my roommate's friend. I'm not sure what exactly. She left our house and got in a car crash and actually ended up dying. So then I didn't go back to the job because we also had our kids that day. So there was a lot going on. So I applied at a new job because I needed to take care of all of that, and the other job wasn't responding. So
Yeah.
I mean, I could have done more, but it just had more obligations I needed to take care of first.
Yeah, man. Man, that's tough, dude. That's yeah, what a turn, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people we don't really appreciate the time that we have with one another until it's too late.
See, I don't necessarily think that. I mean, sure, but like, I don't think I'd take advantage of anything because you still have to live your life. It's like times where I have my son, so I have him half the time, then he goes with his mom half the time. So there's times where like I don't know, he'll be watching a show and I'll be doing dishes, or I'll just he's watching a show and I'm on the computer, and I look over at him. I'm like, why am I on the computer while he's here? Like you feel obligated to do something because you think that like you don't have enough time or something.
Yeah.
But then at that point, you don't live your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I can I understand what you mean, although I don't have a son yet. But even just with the dog, with our puppy, she's 4 months old. She has a ton of energy, and sometimes when let's say that we're just lounging, or maybe I'm working, because I work from home now.
Yeah.
I look over at her and I feel really bad that she's just sitting there, and I almost put myself in her shoes, and I'm like, man, like it must be really boring for her. So in a way, I feel obligated to just walk her every day, and every day it's been getting like a longer walk, because that's all I can do for her. It's not like you can give her a device, or you know.
Yeah.
So in the same way, like I know exactly what you mean, although it's a different circumstance. Um, yeah, I mean, right now the only thing that I've been seeing that I've been doing a little, I've gotten a little better at it, has been being more aware, and just the thought of me sitting down and looking over, like just like you're sitting down and looking over at your son. In the same way, you're being aware of what's happening. Some people, including myself. I mean, before I woke up, before I unplugged from the matrix, before I took the red pill, I used to just live life and just exist. Like I wasn't really paying attention to things. But nowadays, it's been a little different. I've been more conscientious when it comes to things like that. Um, Yeah, and what do you think, Greg? Do you think this is just part of the maturing process or what?
Uh, no, I don't know. I always hate that word because everyone tries to use it for whatever they want. Like you remember in like middle school where like I don't know, let's just say like Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something. And then you get that one kid who comes over and it's like, I'm too cool. I don't play that little kid thing. I'm too mature. It's like, shut your mouth. Get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, just because you don't do something doesn't mean that you're more mature. Like, it doesn't mean that you're this grown up.
I
Like,
know I know what you mean, but I'm really talking about there is a maturement process, where um maybe your prefrontal cortex is finally done growing and developing. There is a process that people go through, and it's usually around their late 20s where we're at,
you can
where
have more focus.
we start seeing the life through a different type of lens.
Yeah, sure. Because,
Most
like,
of us, I'm gonna say most of us. A lot of people, they never mature. They never grow up. They stay the same until it's too late, till they're like in their at their dying bed. You know, is when they're like, oh man, I should have done this differently. I should have done that differently. But that's something that I've been seeing in myself lately. Is that kind of like these? I just joined the 4-eyed club. I just got glasses. When I put these on, I saw things a bit more clear, like HD. And if I were to compare it to my vision before I put on the glasses, it was like foggy.
wait, so those are your actual glasses?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Why?
I thought it was just like, you put someone, like, matching glasses on.
On the picture that I sent on the group chat,
Yeah.
you thought it was like a filter?
No, no, no. I didn't think they were like prescription glasses.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're prescription glasses. So
What makes
I have a slight stigmatism, so I can't see from far away.
yeah,
And when I was driving, especially right now, like these past couple of days, it's been raining. So I really noticed that my vision was starting to deteriorate a little bit, and I had to make a choice. It's a lot of people, they wait until it's too late,
yeah,
and then their vision gets worse and worse and worse because they never wore glasses. So I kind of just wanted to jump on the gun and uh, be a little more proactive about it. So that's why I just decided, like, what am I gonna do? Like I need them, so might as well go get them. So even that thought, see, 5 years ago I didn't think about that. We were going to the bar and getting drunk and getting really messed up. Like we never really thought about the next day and the consequences that it brought. I remember one time. I'm not sure if you were there, but it was one of the first ugly sweater Christmas parties that we hosted at our house. You know,
yeah.
I got a bottle of Knob Creek, and every time one of my friends came over, I would try to pour them a shot, and nobody would take a shot, so I would take it. 10 people, 11 people. I don't even remember, because I blacked out that night. And I the last thing I remember was getting a knock from the property manager there, and then I opened it. I had this like Santa Claus like a beanie, said ho. It said ho, and then I had a the Santa. It came with the Santa Claus beard. So I imagine, you're a property manager. You go knock on the door, and they open the door, and this guy's like drunk Santa Claus, standing at the door. I remember she just told me, "Hey, it looks like a lot of fun, but can you guys keep it down a little bit?" When I shut the door, I completely blacked out. I don't remember anything past that. The
Yeah.
next day, we had a convention in Vegas. I had to get up, dress up, put on like a suit and everything, and drive to Vegas the next day. I was smashed.
Yeah.
As I was walking out to the door, I was like hauling my luggage, and then before I like left the house, I ran back in, threw up, grabbed a Powerade, and took off to Vegas. Like, see, like nowadays, I would never do that because I know better, you know.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah, I guess it's part of the learning curve.
Yeah. But I mean, some things like that like if you didn't have to go and do anything, it wouldn't have been that big a deal. You could have stayed at home, laid down, rest, recovered, and gone from there. But the point was that you did it, you learned from it, and you moved on. So there's no, it's like, it's just whenever life throws a lesson at you, you finally learn from it and you move to the next thing. And all that stuff happens at different times for everyone. And sometimes it doesn't happen to two people. Like you said, like people go all the way up until they die, and then they realize they should have done something.
Yeah.
You know,
Have
just like
you
with kids, like they don't really learn the lesson after they get in trouble for doing something.
well
Like
sometimes. Yeah.
the kids here, they keep jumping off of stuff and landing on the floor, and we tell them to stop jumping in the house, and then we start taking things away, and then they get in trouble, and then they go to sleep early, and then the next day they're out here jumping, and the same thing happens again. Like they're not learning anything. You know
Eventually,
what I
right?
mean?
They'll eventually learn.
Yeah.
Um
Once
well
there's a reason to learn.
there's that saying when the people say that I'm for sure going to butcher it, but let me do my best with it. When a kid touches a like a hot plate or a stove and they get burnt, they will never do it again.
Yeah.
That's the lesson learned, right? However, there are things that I've noticed that have taken a long period of time to really settle in, and then for me to actually act on it. Like, for instance, one of the things that's been going on right now is I'm doing my best to stay active. So I'm just going out to the park before people get there. I try to be the first one there and just uh, do the steps. It's called 1,000 steps. So that's what I've been doing almost every day. And like right now, I feel good because I'm sore and I'm just feeling pretty good about it. But
Yeah.
for the longest time, I'm gonna say like a year and a half, I kind of fell off the wagon and I stopped doing anything, and it almost became um like obviously it was an excuse for me not to do anything. But I was like, oh, there's too much work. Oh, I'm tired. I don't have the energy. My nutrition, this, my blah 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 blah. Like it was like a just domino effect into a hole that I'm now trying to dig myself out of. But the
Yeah.
lesson in it is, if I wouldn't have stopped working out throughout all this time, um, maybe I would have been in a better mental state than I was like a year ago. Like right now that again, once this newfound perspective in life that I got, I mean, it wasn't until now that I realized that the things that I need to do, whether I like to do them or not, and I have to do them because they're good for me. I just talked to a buddy of mine who I've known for 20 years. He just got diagnosed with cancer. And, you know, for me, it's like, okay, well, what are you doing in your own life to try to mitigate those kind of things? For one, I don't smoke. I, I'm the occasional drinker, maybe social drinker. But other than that, I don't really do anything else, and I try to stay active nowadays. But for the longest time, you fall off the wagon What do you do?
You don't do anything.
And it's really easy, huh? It's really
Yeah.
easy just not to do anything. And I feel like a lot of people right now during this quarantine are doing just that. They're like, "Oh, it's the quarantine. I'm just gonna eat fast food and not sleep and eat bad and not exercise." Yeah, it's really easy, man. I know how easy it is. I've it's it's easier to fall off than than it is to build a habit. Um, but yeah, I mean that's where I'm at right now. Where in terms of what I'm doing to stay healthy, I've been drinking a lot of water. I switched from coffee to herbal tea. It's been really good. Um, yeah, man. Like, why don't you tell me like maybe like a big lesson that you've learned recently?
Uh, I think I've fallen in that category of it's quarantine, don't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I really haven't done much. Like the only thing we did was yesterday, uh, or not yesterday, 2 days ago. We set up a mini golf in our house. We built little tracks and we built golf clubs and we played golf. So I
Yeah,
learned how to make a golf course.
that's
But
cool.
after that, like I did some of the coding one day. I don't know, like I don't know. I don't know. I
And
kind
you
of
know, and you know, I wanted to talk to you about that coding thing, man, because right now is when you're gonna have a surge of people, getting getting on the internet, and there are gonna be some people that need programs developed, and it's probably a good idea that you do it, that you try to do something now,
yeah.
kind of reap
I don't know,
the.
man. It's like when you start something, like you just said, like it gets boring and you just stop doing it because there's something else that's fun. Maybe there's too much distraction, and I'm
Yeah.
easily distracted.
Yeah, see, one of the things that I like to say is that technology, particularly computer technology, is a double-edged sword. And I say that because it's a good tool if you know how to
Yeah,
use it, but it's also a big distraction. And I feel like our generation is teaching their kids to rely a little too much on technology, on that type of technology, you know and we were kind of almost lucky enough to grow up with it to understand like it's important, but it's also a distraction. Even though sometimes like we get carried away. I've been binging on Westworld lately. We just every day we watch one episode, or maybe like just Netflix and like TV and whatever.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean it just really depends how you use it, but I mean, in your shoes, with you, what if you turn this into a good thing? Like you obviously like technology. You've been playing video games for a long time. I think now is the time to try to monetize it. More people are at home. Who knows when this is going to be over? And it's part of the reason why I wanted to be on here a little more. Um, do at least 2 or 3 podcasts a week
yeah.
so we can sharpen the skill set. We've been doing this for a year. I think we've come a long way, but there's a long way to go.
Yes, there is.
I can't wait till
Yeah,
it's 100 episodes and then 1,000 episodes, and then by then maybe we have our own little recording studio.
we can see where it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's hard to just
what's
keep
going
up
on
with
with the
things
coding
in a
world, huh?
sense. Huh?
What's going on with the coding world?
I don't know. A lot. I mean, most things have just stopped in general because there's nothing to do. Like, unless you had a job, like contracted work, like there's not really much to do right now.
Yeah.
Like it's not like people don't want to work. It's just there's no reason to work.
Yeah, last episode we were talking about how maybe now is the time to do the thing that you've always wanted to do. Like I have a friend who we were talking over Instagram. He's actually the guy who painted the our thought process poster that we have here in the studio.
Okay.
Yeah, he was telling me that he's getting ready to launch a website, but he's probably going to do it after the quarantine is over. But I told him, I'm like, right now is the perfect time to do it because everybody's home. They're more likely to see it now than later when everybody goes back to their normal life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's I think there's a lot of opportunity during this time. We just have to see it and go for it.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't, if you don't do anything ever, you're not going to get anything out of it, out of anything. You just sit there, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of people just waiting until this passes over, huh?
Yeah. That's why, like, I just saw that in California, if you're on unemployment, that you're going to be getting an extra $600. I don't see how they would do it. It says per week, but that doesn't make any sense to me. You're going to get $600 on top of whatever unemployment's giving you a week. So let's say you're getting $200 a week from unemployment. They're going to tack on another six. So you're getting $800 a week. That's more than most people probably made who are on unemployment right now.
Yeah. Where did you read that? So people are aware.
I know some other sites did it. I mean, you can find it on different news articles. Probably just find it on EDD. But I know some other states were already doing that. Like my buddy who lives out in New Orleans, he said that he already has that.
Huh.
So it's not something new, but it just sounds crazy to get $800 a week. That's what is that? That's That's $3,200 a month. I can almost guarantee you, most servers don't even make that.
Mm-hmm.
Most servers probably make anywhere from $200 to $500 less than that a month. So now these people are going to be making more than they were working.
Yeah.
So it may put people back into the normal life in a sense. And I feel like
I think the idea is to stimulate the economy. Later. Yeah, I mean, it's a trade-off, right? We're alleviating the pain now, but we're gonna eventually have to feel the pain. Yeah, I don't really know the science of like how the economy works in terms of stimulus packages and everything, but I assume that it's just that. It's just a trade-off. It's a way to keep the economy going now, and then kind of mitigating the damage that it's going to cause later.
Yeah, we're just going to get taxed back on it anyway. So it's going to come out. It's going to come back to them.
Yeah.
It's a loan, essentially, is what it is.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to Robert. He's tuning in to the podcast today. So
welcome, Robert.
Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. Why don't you, if you're still listening, why don't you put on a comment of things or maybe like a topics that you would like us to discuss. But I mean, this week, I also didn't really have anything to ask the world for our segment. So maybe we can do the uncommon common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you have anything in terms of that?
No.
Nothing?
No.
No. Yeah,
I
maybe
mean, I did say it earlier. The whole thing about the just like using a cloth as a mask, like it's I don't know. I found it to be pretty common sense that it's not going to do anything.
you mean in terms of spreading the disease, or
Yeah, I mean
yeah.
it's just like
So I think I know what the science behind that is. So if you're wearing a mask or something covering your mouth, it's basically just helping detain the the infected droplets
yeah.
that can
So
potentially be passed on to somebody else.
yeah, that's what I'm saying though is that people aren't making these masks and throwing them away after they use them. They're making them and using them over and over and over and over. So like they're not getting rid of it. They're just putting it on the mask.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, and
You
then
know?
sometimes they put it on their countertop, or they put it everywhere in their car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Or they
mean
take it
it's
off,
one.
and when you take it off, they touch their face and they didn't wash their
Yeah,
hand.
well, I think that it's better than nothing. You know, the other day, one of the reasons why I started going to the park earlier to go do the steps was because I stopped and I let this guy run ahead of us, and when he was running, all all throughout the time he was going up the stairs, he was either coughing, like just without even coughing to his elbow. He was spitting. He was panting. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
it
And
was
you
like
were running right into that.
no, I stopped. But that's why I stopped. I stopped and let him go because there's signs everywhere saying keep 6 feet apart, keep 6 feet apart. People don't do it, so I'm not even trusting them. It's like
Yeah,
when I
but the
ride
six
my.
feet
It's like
is
when I.
at the same time, the 6 feet's not doing anything.
Well, it's
Like
doing it's
if
doing a
that
lot.
person was standing, like let's say you're all sitting down and you get up and the new people come to sit down in that chair. That chair is what's holding the sickness, not the person. Like just
Yeah, but okay.
just
Let's
because you're
say that
six
you're
feet away from
walk.
that person,
Let's say
but
that
then you
you're.
went to where they were, it's the same thing as touching them.
I don't necessarily think that's true because there's wind involved. I'm sure they get moved by the wind. Um, yeah, I think that's more likely to not be true.
That's why they say wash your hands because when you're touching the things, it's as if you're touching the person's hand because they just touched it.
Yeah, but see, I'm not talking about like surfaces. Yeah, we all know that that's like the common sense that
Well, yeah,
don't touch
but
surfaces.
they're coughing in the air and you're walking right into where they cough. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
it's there.
I know what you're saying. I know, but what I'm saying is that if there's wind, there's always wind. It's gonna carry the droplets away, and it's 6 feet should be enough for you to not be infected by that wind. And it's not. It's also not. It's droplets. It's not just the air. So it's not just your air. It's the droplets that carry the virus. It or also would have
Sure.
been like 100% airborne, and then everybody would have gotten it no matter what, because
Yeah.
everybody's breathing. Um, I guess that's another part of the uncommon sense, not so common, or common sense, not so common, would be just don't touch surfaces or wash your hands. I couldn't tell you, man, how many people really don't wash their hands. Sometimes I'll be at the office and I'll be washing my hands after I go to the urinal, and I see somebody go direct from the stall. They go directly, touch the handle on the door, and walk out, just oblivious
Yeah.
to the world.
Yeah. Like I went to a laundromat and um, the bathroom's like off into the corner, and to get into the bathroom, you have to open the door, which kind of like blocks where the sink is. So like the
Yeah.
sink's right here. There's a wall.
Yep.
So when the door opens, it kind of closes that area off. So I went to the sink to wash out my soap pourer thing, and a guy comes out of the bathroom, swings the door. I thought it was gonna hit me, so I looked back, and the guy just like walked back and starts doing his laundry, like touching the machines and everything. I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah, man.
And like, so I stared at him, and he wouldn't look at me. I was like, there ain't no way you're gonna try to tell me you wash your hands, because I was at the sink. You almost hit me with the door.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Um, yeah, what do you think? Do you think social distancing is going to continue way after the quarantine is over?
No,
You don't think so?
no, you're
I,
gonna
f-
have
I feel like people are going to be weird for a little bit.
well for a little bit, yeah. Because I mean, how do you go from wear a mask, wear gloves, don't go outside to you're free to do what you want? Now what?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like for the longest time, we never really shunned a spotlight on the wash your hands. Like, yeah, it's a law. It's by law that employees, at a restaurant have to wash their hands before going to work, or any employee should wash their hands before going to work.
No one regulates that.
Right. There's no like wash your hands
Like
monitor.
if you happen to see the chef not wash his hands when walk out the bathroom, you tell the manager, and the manager walks up and says, "Hey, someone said you didn't wash your hands. Go wash your hands." Like that might happen, but if nothing is said, nothing is done.
Yeah, but in terms of the spotlight of how important it is to wash your hands, I don't think we've ever had this. I feel like more people, I hope, will start to wash their hands because they've become aware to the fact that maybe they weren't washing their hands all that often before. Um, yeah, I mean, even right now, like you'll see, like sometimes I'll try to, I'll reach to my for my face, and I've been trying to be better on that end, and like also when I go and out and touch a lever or a doorknob or something, I try to use my pocket through my or my hand through my pocket of my jacket that I'm wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I've always been a little weird about that, but
Yeah,
not so many people do it.
I mean, like I wouldn't like if I left my house and I went to a grocery store, I bought groceries, and I came home. I probably wouldn't have washed my hands before.
But
I
now
mean,
nowadays, huh?
like if I go to the bathroom, I'll wash my hands, or if I eat food after I eat, I usually wash my hands, or like I don't know, if I pick a booger, I'll go wash my hands. Like there's not like I don't just like sitting here. Like I've touched my ears, I've gone like this a couple times. Like I've touched my desk. Like I don't think I'd go wash my hands after this.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, this whole circumstance and situation that we're in changes that.
Well, I mean,
Like right
I
now,
don't know.
one thing that I've been doing is I've just been taking sanitizing wipes with me in the car. So
Yeah.
let's say that I have to go and pump gas. Not only will I just sanitize the buttons on the buttons, and the handle, but then also when I come back in the car, I use a separate one and just kind of sanitize my hands, and then I'll wipe down the steering wheel with it. It's hard work, man. You don't
I
always
don't.
remember too.
Yeah, I don't know if it applies to the like those kind of sanitizer wipes, but when you use them, you're supposed to wait until it dries to then retouch that surface because the sanitizer isn't doing its full job as it's just on the surface. Like in a restaurant, when you wipe down the tables, you're supposed to not seat someone right away. Like it's supposed to sit and dry, and that's when the sanitizing is done.
Before all this started, when you were at the restaurant, did you guys sanitize the table
Yeah, all the towels would be sanitized.
with what?
Sanitized towels. I mean, I don't think it was done properly necessarily.
Yeah. Nowadays everywhere, right? The grocery stores, everything. Everybody has to in one way or another have to sanitize.
I mean, yes and no. Like they do it because the employees don't want to get sick and they don't want to get other people sick. But like, I don't, I don't necessarily know if they're doing it the right way. I mean, because if you just take a sanitizer and spray it on a towel and wipe a doorknob, like, is it really sanitizing it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, is there enough product? I don't know.
That's a good question.
I think there's too many people who don't know enough. Just like us, we don't know enough.
We're just
That
speculating.
we're taking something we hear and we're doing that where it could not be the right thing.
Yeah, we're just speculating
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, because there's enough people who are saying masks aren't going to do anything, and then there's other people who say masks will do things, and then it only wear a mask if you are sick, and then there's people who aren't sick but can still carry the.
So Greg, why don't we look at the science behind it, and then maybe next podcast we can do a little recap on it. On one, sanitizing the wipes, just like you said, and number two, wearing masks.
Yeah.
And I'll do my own research too. Maybe we can compare and bring up whatever we get back. We'll talk about it next time on the podcast.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, right now I think people have even forgotten that we're approaching the weekend. It's kind of just been. It's just gonna be another day for other people, huh?
Yep. Like I woke up yesterday and thought it was Wednesday. I thought I completely skipped the day. So like I knew it was Thursday. I woke up. I was like, oh, today's Thursday, and then I was like, but what happened on Wednesday? Nothing happened on Wednesday. So today is Wednesday.
Yeah. For a little while there, I was kind of unsure of what day it was too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you have anything else to add before we go today?
Nope, not today.
No. So, listen, guys. Common sense. Wash your hands. Stay away from people. Stay away from big crowds. Just want to give you guys that reminder, because if you're not sick, keep it that way. You know, you don't want to put yourself or expose yourself to the virus. We're all trying to get out of quarantine. The sooner everybody listens, the faster we will be over this. If you guys have any questions, topics, comments, put them on the below. It's not the description below. It's the comment section below. Yeah. Other than that, we will see you guys. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. I think Greg and I were discussing that maybe we can do a podcast tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Maybe we can come back with. We'll do some research on the science behind the masks and the sanitizing wipes to see if they even work. So we'll talk to you guys then. And to leave today's podcast, I'm going to read a little excerpt from The Heart of Buddha. Here you go. Rain falls, wind blows, plants bloom, leaves mature and are blown away. These phenomena are all interrelated with causes and conditions, are brought about by them, and disappear as the causes and conditions change. So with that, we'll leave you guys to it. Have a good weekend. We'll see you guys next episode. All right, Greg. I'll talk to you later, man. Hope you have a good weekend.
Talking. Man. Have a good one.
Talk to you soon.